So there are guys like Keith Abney, Jordan Tyson in attendance at today's spring football. What types of advices have they given to the current players, and how influential have they been today?
I think that's a great point. It's a great thing to notice. I mean, they're coming out. Particularly, I think anybody who takes over a program at any point, I think what you're trying to do is you're trying to visually prepare yourself for in 3 years. You want guys like Jordan Tyson, Keith Abney, Shad White to come back and have the pride and just willingness to be out here on a free Saturday morning. And I think it says a lot about the program. I think it says a lot about the culture, the investment these guys have put in, the pride they've taken in the program. It's been pushed to a level that we all know we're all here for, and I think that's a big statement to what they've done. They're at the forefront of this thing. I've been going into year 3, seeing those guys when I got here, and I felt like I was at the groundwork of it as well. And to see these guys come back out and have such essential pride on the sideline and contribute to those guys is something that I think the program and all the players take a lot of pride in.
Coach, building off of that question of the generation that really built the foundation, has there been anybody so far that's really stood out to you in the underclassmen group?
It's still so early. I think we've got a really young, competitive, hungry group, and I think that that's exactly what you want. I think in year 3, every year you're trying to do the pillars of building the thing, and I think talent acquisition starts at the whole thing, and so each year you're trying to build yourselves a quality foundation, especially when it's as youthful as ours, and I think we've got a really young, competitive group that's hungry, that wants to build on offensively the last 2 years and what we've done. And I think that's running the football, being explosive and being efficient and finding ways to be to carry the flag like a lot of these guys have in the last 2 years offensively. Guys like Jordan and guys like Max and guys like that have been scattered, who've been here before. And I think these guys are here because of that. I think you've built the players have built themselves a locker room where we can now go recruit to such young talent and say, wow, there's a lot of young guys out here in spring that are going to be able to contribute. In which way and how much, we don't know yet, but we look very different than we did 2 years ago when I got here, I'll tell you right now. And so that's exactly what I think you want to have happen.
I know when you watched Thursday's film, what did you take from that?
The first practice with a young group is always exciting because you just want to see the effort. You want to see guys flying around, how much command the young quarterbacks have of the offense, how much detail is the young guys out there with the new scheme. They walk through it, but now it's full speed. Now you don't have pads on yet, so that's a totally different ballgame. But you just want to see how guys recognize, move, play, feel. How fast is the game when you start getting guys in front of them? And the bar's been raised. I mean, the bar's been raised at every position. I think that's a tribute to everyone. I mean, when I say everyone, I mean to all of everybody who's around this program, who's took an effect of saying, let's get this thing activated. Let's increase the opportunities to bring guys like we've got on the field that are young now. And you can see that offensively right now. I mean, that's a young, explosive group. So seeing even practice 1 was like, wow, there's some plays being made out there that probably wouldn't have been made 2 years ago with a bunch of young guys.
From my vantage point, it seems like Cutter looks really sharp out there so far. It looks like he has a really good rapport with his receivers already. Do you share that same assessment so far? I mean, you just said it's just 2 practices, but have you seen
2
that?
practices in. I think Cutter's long, athletic, can push the ball down the field. He's got a good command. You can tell he's got some moxie about him. He's played before, which we knew. Very similar to when we got Sam 2 years ago. We knew there's enough in there to kind of say, okay, he's kind of scratch the surface of playing college football. The speed probably won't be an issue, and we can see that. And you can see his ability to go out there and be calm in the moment is coming off tape. His accuracy, they'll extend some plays, push the ball down the field. There's gonna be some mental errors in the system just in the first 2 days. That's gonna be fine. He'll work through that. It's not making it twice, but we're seeing a lot of things that we did see on film come to life, and that's at all positions. Cutter, the quarterbacks are obviously a big one.
It's obviously really early in spring, and the guy makes sweeping conclusions after practice too. But maybe some things that really stood out to you, maybe pleasant surprises after first 2 days.
There's nothing that's going to be super independent of personalities or people. I think the thing that stands out right now is just how fast and how fast and how clean a lot of the young guys are moving. Mm-hmm. I think that the early stages, usually with young guys, is you're going to anticipate them being slower because they're trying to learn. Yeah. These guys are learning fast. They've got a lot of detail in what they're doing. The coaches have been together. There's a lot of continuity. We kind of get a chance for us to eliminate a lot of our gray, which is really good, so we can communicate better. So I think all around the efficiency of what we're trying to get taught to some young guys, you can see guys moving fast. I mean, a guy like Raiden, a guy like Reed, a guy like Omari, and a guy like Cutter, a guy like Fetty. I go down the list, Tana at center. I mean, there's a lot of things in day 2 where you're like, whew, we're rolling pretty good. The guys are picking it up pretty fast. Now, I say that I'll see you in 2 days.
Yeah.
You know, 4, 5, and 6, and we're drinking through a fire hose. You know, and you want that too, though.
Yeah.
You want those friction points. You don't want it to be super comfortable all the time because you want to find out where they're at when it gets a little hot. It's hard to get that in spring ball, but again, there's no highlights in spring ball. It's about the work, and these guys have been awesome.
Marcus, is there any realistic scenario where one of these quarterbacks runs away with the job in spring, or are there just so many new guys to the system that it's going to go well in the fall camp?
Yeah, Colin, I'll never say never. I mean, there's times in 20 years of doing this, there's been times you're like, boom, and someone just goes. There's other times where you think that's going to be the guy who's going to do it, and all of a sudden you're like, well, none of us really took off. I think at the end of the day, I think when we've had success doing this in here and other places is when you've tried to really drive kind of some of those friction points and see who can respond and kind of some of the uncomfortable spots at quarterback. See how guys go in like 5 and 6. Are they retaining the information? Are you going to hit a slump and go, okay, I'm overloaded? You know, and that can happen. That's probably expected, especially young guys. You know, Jake's a high school guy. But right now, I don't anticipate seeing if that could happen. It could. You may go into fall camp and go, you got 1 and 2. We got all 4. Mikey Keene's got a ton of reps. It's hard to see him go out there and not feel comfortable with just getting the cadence off. You know, it might be good for someone else. So it's a good problem to have right now, to have a few guys that you feel like can still take that opportunity.
What have you made of Clayton Smith on offense so far?
Yeah, a lot like JT in a lot of ways. I'm kidding. Yeah, Clayton. I mean, you talk about someone you love more than anything. I mean, to have someone, in all candor, to have Clayton when I got here and I wasn't on our side of the ball, to see the maturity and to see the selflessness, to see the camaraderie and the teamship of him grow, and then come to our side of the ball. I mean, it is, my hat's off to dude. I mean, there's not a bigger Clayton fan than someone now who's recently met him on offense, you know, after seeing him on defense for 2 years. Now that's not to mention anything about his athleticism, because the dude is freaky athletic. I mean, there's no way, I don't know, there's not many places I can name even draft picks that you're like the Kayvon Thibodeaus of the world, of the ends where you're like, okay, I've moved to offense, it won't be an issue. Like, he comes over, he's catching pat and go like it was nothing. I mean, wow, it's awesome to have him. I think it's going to be special. I think he's going to be able to do something. I really do. I think that he's got some athletic ability, and I think he's got some want to and some selflessness to give him a role, and it could be ugly. I mean, poor DBs. It's like lining up against a predator down there, you know?
And you talk about the continuity with the coaches, but talking to CJ the other day, saying that obviously Leaf coming back, but working with the defense and him being able to pick a Leaf spring.
Yeah.
How big is that for just the defense in general?
Yeah, I mean, you guys know how special Leaf is to me. Having Leaf, you know, my last stop as a head coach, and then had to be here and have him, and then go through what he went through, to see him continue his journey. I mean, there's not a better human on our field, in my opinion, than Leaf. To see him come back, go into a camp last year, get his cup of tea, and come back and go, I really want to do this. I'm passionate enough. I have enough for this game and want to coach, and then go, I'm going to go to defense, is fantastic. I mean, there's not a better person. I said Trader, obviously, but I think for Leaf to be able to jump over there, knowing what I know of him as a center and offensive lineman and how smart he is, to jump on that side is only going to raise his ability to coach this game at a really high level. He's going to be special.
The size of some of these guys, you know, the jumbo athlete types.
Yeah.
What does that enable?
Yeah.
Smith.
Yeah, the guys who can play, who are long and strong and also can play that size, right? Because there's a lot of guys you're hoping when you get some certain guys, and we've evolved really well now with the guys we've got now, and that happens over time. You're playing with larger bodies, just the catch radius, just in general, just the matchup, just the ability to think about how you're going to play certain schemes and how that's going to affect certain players in the field, how it's going to affect a nickel or a dime package, how it's going to affect a corner. What it can do with a safety, what are they going to see it as, changing where they're at. I mean, you got some big athletes that are long now who show size and growth potential to match up and have an advantage. It's like having a basketball player out there. I mean, we've had bigger players, the Mike Evans of the world, the Vince Jacksons you've had, you know, where you're like, okay, this bigger guy is such a matchup issue. If you can take advantage of it, it's probably going to behoove you. And I think that we've got an opportunity in certain places like that to see how that, you know, develops over spring ball. So it's fun to see, and it's what you hoped you'd see. I think that's the biggest thing. You hope you see when it comes out. And you're like, all right, there it is. You know.
Mario Miller's had a few head-turning plays through 2 practices. He had the one where Hines Ward was running down the field behind him on Thursday's practice. Today, he had the one-handed, left-handed grab. How scary is his potential in this offense?
Yeah, I mean, we've all, you know, we were pushing really hard, obviously, to get such an awesome guy as a person, and then to get such a talented player. You know, I think we saw some of that on film. I mean, who didn't? If you were, I know what you were watching. If you didn't, we were fighting our tail off to get a guy like that after losing JT, and I think that's what we've seen the first couple of practices is promising. He's gonna put it all together and be consistent. He knows that, and I just like more than anything, I his work ethic. He's a humble guy, doesn't say much, works his tail off, and has that talent. That's where you can really skyrocket. So we're really excited about that.
Sounds good.